Okay, so every year I do get asked what's the best all-around smartphone, and typically I go with whatever the Samsung Ultra phone is that year. And so this year we do have the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, and just not beating around the bush, yes, this still is the best all-around smartphone that I can recommend, at least at this time. Now, it doesn't mean that this phone is going to be the best phone for me in every situation, or it's going to be the best for you. But when it comes to the entire feature set, it just really delivers on a lot of it. It's not perfect, but it does get a lot right, and you still have a great camera system. So this phone is rocking 4 cameras on the back, 2 telephoto, 1 ultra wide, and 1 wide angle camera. And these just give you a wide range to play around with, whether you're just taking portrait mode photos or just like photos of people, like I am taking of my nieces here in Disney World down in Orlando recently. So it just really does a good job at recreating really good, vibrant colors. And also I like how it does handle skin tones. And also you can take some really close up photos because of the still 100 times space zoom that you do have with this. So no major improvements with space zoom this year. It just still gives you the ability to get very up and close to be able to take a photo. Again, 30 times zoom is really where it's at, where it doesn't lose that much quality. And if you go all the way up to 100 times zoom, of course, that's really just kind of for fun. It's going to be very grainy and not something I really want to share on social media all the time. It's really just something that I do use for fun. But everything in between that, it still does look excellent with this phone. So all day, every day, I'm very happy with the photos that I can take with this phone. But I'm even happier with the video recording capabilities, because I did take this out to, I think, this place called Mercer Labs, which is this really cool kind of art and technology museum in New York City. And I went out there with David from the YouTube channel Pay It Forward. And so we just walked around and just kind of explored it. And I used this S25 Ultra to really record a lot of cool video of the different exhibits that they do have. But this S25 Ultra can also take log video. So log video just really gives you a flat video in the beginning, but now you can take it into your favorite video editing app and then add some color to it. Or you can just do the color grading on this S25 Ultra itself. So basically you can just add some color to it. And because it is log video, it just has more information and just more opportunity for you to bring out the details and the highlights and the lighting and things like that with the video. So it is really impressive. But even outside of a museum environment, if you're just outside just doing everyday stuff or recording other smartphone reviews, I did use this phone to be able to get some really good videos that I would incorporate into my other content. So as a content creator, being able to take log video is pretty clutch on this. And for the past few years, I've just been using the iPhone to be able to give me the same type of flexibility. But this log video on the S25 Ultra definitely does give me the best of both worlds, whether I'm using iOS or Android, and I just want better video recording capabilities. So yeah, top-notch camera system on this phone, and also the display still is going to be one of the best in the industry. Great colors, great brightness, playing games, just doing anything on it. It looks great, watching movies, YouTube videos, all of that stuff still checks here. And also this still is a 6.9-inch display, but they have decreased the bezels around the screen to give you even more screen real estate. And you still do have that ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, really one of the industry best. And whether your hands are going to be dirty or have water or grease on them, it still performs very well. And then the screen is going to be wrapped around with the titanium frame on this phone. And this frame is going to be more squared off, but it still does have some roundedness on the corners and stuff. But it's a really nice slab of a phone type of feeling. I really love how this phone does fit in my hand. And you don't have any glossiness with the edges of it, so that does hide the fingerprints. I would like to see Samsung explore a little bit more with different colors. You still have some exclusive colors on their website and stuff, but I would like to see it just more expressive colors here with this phone. And the overall design really isn't changed that much as far as like when you look at it compared to the Galaxy S24 Ultra. A big deal for some, not really for me, because I still do typically put a case on my phone. Now, as far as battery life, still excellent. So you get a 5,000 milliamp hour battery inside of this. So all day battery life, easy, no matter what you're doing on this phone. But definitely if you do want to stretch it to like the end of day 2, you can definitely do that without sacrificing too much. So really great battery life. And the phone doesn't really run hot at all. So the vapor chamber and everything inside of the phone, whether I'm playing games or just watching videos or just doing stuff for a long time with it, it doesn't really get warm at all. So it's really cool to the touch. And I have not been gentle with this phone, but I don't really see any imperfections with it or anything on the display. It does have the Gorilla Armor 2 glass here, which does keep it very protected. So scratches and stuff, I haven't seen anything just yet. So that's good. All right, so let's get into the software, because I actually think that software is one of the best features of this phone, because Samsung has actually added features and different things that I incorporate into my daily life. So one of these is going to be the Noun Brief, which acts as a widget, but when you tap into it, it gives you a nice summary of your day. So if it's the morning time or the evening, your summary might be different. It might show you what's coming up the next day. But since it is the afternoon now, showing me a couple of events that I have coming up later today, and also just some different news events and maybe a Spotify playlist that I do want to enjoy. So you can customize what type of information it pulls from and adds to this section, but I would like to see this even expanded even more in future software updates, because I really do use it throughout my day at least like 3 or 4 times a day. And you might be seeing a trend here with customization being one of the best parts of One UI 7, and that does continue here with the notification panel / control panel here. And so you can customize these different individual sections. You can reorder them. I can move this down here, and of course I can swap out these different actions. And also I like the fact that you go into the panel settings, you can now separate the notification panels and also the kind of control panel. And so now when I get out of here, I can swipe down from the top right just to get to my controls, or I can swipe down from the top left to get to my notifications here. And you can also like swipe left and right to be able to switch between the two, but it's a nice separation to have if you want it. And then there's this new now bar screen that shows up on the bottom of your lock screen, and these are just a bunch of bubbles of information like your timer or different alerts or music and things like that that you can access just by swiping up and down, which is convenient. And then we do have live notifications on this phone now. And yes, I know it's similar to the dynamic island and things like that Apple is doing with iOS on the iPhone, but I like it nonetheless. It gives you like updates for your scores of your favorite teams and little pieces of information like that. And it lives on the top left-hand corner of your phone when you do have it unlocked and you're using it, or it can live in the notification panel as well. Now, some of the features that I showed you in this video already do take advantage of AI and stuff. And look, I'm not going to spend too much time on AI specifically, but one of the things that I do like with the Google Gemini integration and just what Samsung has done with working with them with AI, it's just the ability to be able to add stuff to my calendar very easily. So I can press down and hold on the power button, and then I can ask Gemini to do something like this. Add all of the premium live events for WWE to my calendar, because I'm a big wrestling fan. And we have Backlash coming up at the time of this video here in St. Louis, so I'm excited for it. But yeah, anyway, it takes just a few seconds, and then now it's connecting to my Google Calendar, and boom, here are all of the events.
Do you want to go ahead and create them right now?
So yeah, this is just super convenient, and you can do this for your favorite sports team, or you can do it for maybe like a Broadway play or something like that. So that is something that I actually do, not daily, but I do enough to where I really do appreciate that type of AI incorporation. Some of the AI is kind of gimmicky on all devices at this point, but something like that is super useful for me. And of course, Samsung has sprinkled in some AI with video recording with this new audio eraser feature. So after you take a video, you can now remove certain sounds or voices and things from that video. So I have this nice little video of my nieces here at Disney here, and I can actually remove the voices from this if I wanted to. So right now you hear a lot of background noise with the sound. You can hear them talking, and I can turn that down, and now you don't hear the voices anymore. Or I can turn that back up, and then now I can actually remove the music. You can hear that audio, and now I can just focus on the audio from them, from their voices. And you can also just choose auto mode and just let it kind of do its thing to kind of balance out all the different sounds in the video itself. So again, as a content creator, this is great just to be able to remove music so I don't get a copyright strike if I really need to, and just focus on the audio. So yeah, I really do like this. And so yeah, this really just sums up my experience with One UI 7 and my appreciation for it, because it just has features and different little tweaks that I do use, if not daily, I just use a lot more than some of the other features that I do find on other phones. And last but not least, you still do have the S Pen that lives inside of the phone, and you can pull it out to write down a quick note, or I like to give it to my nieces and allow them to draw with like a coloring book app on this phone and stuff. And I also like using the S Pen for the sketch to image feature on this phone. So you can roughly draw an outline of something like a plane on top of your photo, and then the phone will use AI to be able to replace that sketch with an actual image. And it does a pretty good job. It doesn't work all the time, but when it does work, I do like it. And of course, you don't have to use the S Pen for this feature. You can just use your finger if you want. But Samsung did make a very interesting and odd choice this year, and that's because they removed the Bluetooth capabilities from the S Pen. And that means you can't use it to remotely activate your camera. Maybe you're trying to take a group photo and hop into the photo yourself, and you place your phone down on the table and then run over there with the S Pen, press the button and take the photo. You just can't do that anymore. And also you can't do like certain air gestures and things like that, which I don't think a lot of people use. So Samsung's justifications for removing these features is the fact that a lot of people weren't using them according to their research and stuff. But this phone does cost $1,299, and when you're just kind of used to certain features for that price point, it's hard to see them go away. And so it is very possible that one day Samsung makes you buy the S Pen separately, or they include it inside of the box, but you just can't put it and store it inside of the phone anymore. But yeah, that day could come, but I think Samsung really has to weigh those options carefully, because with a phone that does cost $1,299, you're expecting the premium of premium features and things like that, and you don't want to see things taken away from it. But look, even with that, this phone is still an excellent phone, the best all-around phone at the time of this video. I'm going going to say that again. And the camera system, the display, the performance, the hardware, the battery life, all these things. I didn't go into detail with all of the little individual features because you can just go on the website and see that stuff. But this phone is just something I have been daily driving here for the past couple of months here, outside of me reviewing other phones. But it's just something that it's just a no-brainer when it comes to a content creator like me. But I will say again, I said the same thing about the Galaxy S24 Ultra from last year. So if you can find that for a great price, that might be a better deal depending on how like tied you are to just having the latest and greatest with something like this S25 Ultra. But no matter which way you choose, this S25 Ultra just really gives me everything I want at this point. So drop a comment down below and let me know what you think about this Galaxy S25 Ultra. But like always, I do want to thank you for watching this video, and I will catch you later. Peace.